audio and video, and we do all kinds of coverage of video. And today we welcome you to a talk show. We have been talking about depression with my guest tonight, who will introduce himself later. I want you to go to YouTube channel and go and subscribe. And also in Facebook, you follow us so that you may know whatever we are doing here in studio. We are located in Nakuru along the Kanu Street. We are near Batosola. Each and every Wednesday, we have been handling the topic of depression. We have received many feedbacks, and we will be going each and every point so that we may not leave also you behind. So continue and walk to us through the end. And I know by the end of this service, you will be educated. So be blessed. As I now introduce the man of God, I know now you can look at that camera and introduce yourself first.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pastor, and thank you for hosting me here. It is a great pleasure to be here and even to be given an opportunity to reach out to us, and especially in these times when we are having and living in difficult times. I really believe that this is what we need to hear. My name is Bishop John Dirango. I am a minister of the gospel. I preach the kingdom of God and the gospel of peace. And we are here in Nakuru, but by the grace of God, I oversee the church called Springs of Glorious Restoration Churches in Kenya. God bless you.
Amen. Now, man of God, you started by introducing your topic, and you say that depression is something that happens in the mind, or the pressure that comes to the mind.
Yes.
And you also said there are causes that bring depression.
Yes.
In the last episode, you touched 4, and the last one, as I remember, it was culture.
Yes.
Now, from there, we want to go ahead, so that we continue telling people this and this and this, they can bring or they can cause depression.
Yes.
Okay, what do you have for us today?
Thank you so much. And as I said, we all need to hear this, because it's good to start by saying that depression is real. And so many people have been affected by it, and so many people have lost either their jobs, they have lost their loved ones due to depression. And that is why we need to get to this and understand, so that as we understand the causes, understand what brings this depression to us, we will know and understand on how we can handle that depression. So thank you, Pastor. I'll just say, as I was talking about culture, there are things that I said in the last episode, and I think I can just do a few recaps on what I said. I said that I know when I am talking about culture, so many people will not understand why we are talking of culture when it comes to depression. But as I said, that we have diverse cultures, and especially from where we come from. And because the cultures are different, you find, and especially culture mostly affects the married people and the marriages. Because as I said, there are people who are married in places, and you find the culture and the things that are happening there. There are things that you are not brought up in. And because now you are being introduced into those cultures, you find that you have been subjected to them. So, because this is something that you are not used to, when it's now becoming with the pressure, and you don't want to lose your marriage, you don't want to lose your husband, that is where you find whatever you are doing, you are not willingly doing it, but you are doing out of pressure. And now that is where stress and pressure comes in, and depression comes in, because it becomes, I said when we were starting the program, and I said, when you have something and it takes long, it continues to circulate in you. It continues to pile up. So whatever comes in, unless there is something, unless you know how to relieve whatever comes. So if it is toxic and you find that it is happening in that family, so slowly by slowly, you will find yourself being affected by those things. I think that is another area. I also wanted to talk about something else.
Point number 5.
Point number 5.
And it is also good to tell our viewers that we discussed in length. That point of culture. In the last episode.
Yes.
So in this episode, you are just going a little bit to do a recap
Yes.
so that you go to the next point.
So, I was just doing a recap. I wanted to clarify some of the few things so that when I get into the fifth point, I think people will understand what we are saying. So, the fifth point, I want to talk about unfulfilled dreams.
Unfulfilled dreams.
Dreams that are unfulfilled. Every person has a dream. And the dream that you have is the destiny that you are looking for. You talk to every person in life, there is something that they desire to be in life. There is a purpose and a pattern that God has set for each and every one of us. And we are all working towards that. But you find as we continue in life, there are some expectations in life that yes, they were desired, yes, they were expected, but somehow on the way, you find there are things that happens and break the expectations that you had. Even though the Bible says that the expectation of the righteous man
Be cut off.
will not be cut off. But to many people, and especially to our young people, let me just give an example. Our young people, maybe you are in school, and you find maybe your parents are not able to pay for your school fees, and you find that you have dropped out of school. You wanted to either to be either a surgeon, a doctor, and you had dreams of becoming whatever you had a desire. So those aspirations that you had, when they are cut off because of some of the things that happen, because when I was talking about financial status, sometimes it can be that maybe your parent or maybe the guardian and the person who was supporting your education find that that person is unable to pay for your education. So you find that that expectation now comes to a point where you find as though this is the end of it. And this, because people think this is the end of everything, that is where depression starts. Because now you look at your life, you look at the people who are with you, others are at school, others continue with life, but you look at your life, you don't see the end of it, and you don't know what will happen. Maybe you are a lady, and in course of life, there are some young ladies, maybe you became pregnant or something like that happened in life. So you find that because there is something that has come in, and it has already
Stopped you in the way.
and exactly what you wanted to. Now the expectations that were in you, now there is something that has cropped in. So that is where so many people I've talked to, and especially to many young people, and you find these young people, because either they became pregnant, maybe they became very sick, and they were unable to continue. So that expectation is what I am calling unfulfilled dreams. You had a dream, but there is something that has just come on the way, and you are not where you wanted to be. There is something that has come in, and now it has really interfered with the process and whatever you wanted to become. This is one of the areas that we find, and especially young people. Young people, they lose even hope in life. They become so much stressed to a point that they lose focus even in their life. Why? Because I knew I will finish this degree. I will finish this and this. I will be this and this. Now, but because of some of the things that maybe just happen along the way, you find that that expectation was not met. So that is why when we are talking of depression, we need to encourage our people, and especially to our young people, because most of them, when these things happen, they become so much desperate, they become so much stressful, and even they lose hope in life. So when all this happens, you find that their lives starts to deteriorate, and you find that their hopes are no more. So it becomes a cause. It becomes something that brings depression in their lives.
Mhm.
And to recover requires
A lot of time.
a lot of time, because
A lot
you'll
of
talk to that
education.
person,
Mm.
but now he'll tell you. Most of them that we have talked to, they'll tell you, yes, whatever you are saying is right, but now
I've wasted some
I've
years.
wasted, yes, I've wasted a lot of time. I'm still aging, and I don't think I'll get back to where I was, where I'm supposed to be. Now my age mate, and I think those are the areas where we find people losing focus and even becoming
And
hopeless.
also, it is very good to tell people that
Yes.
sometimes the things that happen to our life
Yes.
does not happen to all ages at equal.
Yes.
So that people may not think because my age mate are doing this and that and I'm not doing, I compare myself with them. Because also I don't know where they are getting their money from. So sometimes we compare ourselves with other people, and the more we continue comparing ourselves with other people, we get depressed.
Yes.
Yes, and we get discouraged. Because sometimes your age mate, maybe they got married at the age of 25,
Yes.
and you were schooling or you were doing something else.
Exactly.
Now you come to get somebody at the age of 30
Yes.
or 35, you start now looking at their children and their children.
Mhm.
You know these things you cannot compare
You
them.
cannot compare.
You cannot compare them.
Yes, exactly.
So it's very good to tell people that it's not good mostly to compare yourself with the things of life.
Yeah.
But that one does not mean that you will not be successful.
You have not failed because they have succeeded. So, and those are the areas that we need to understand, because if we don't look up onto such areas, these are the things that have caused so many people, because you started, maybe you are at work and there is something that you are doing in that work. Your colleagues, maybe they have all bought cars, and maybe you are unable to do that. So you start now, you feel that you are hopeless. You feel that you don't deserve even the work that you are doing. You will not enjoy it. Why? Because you're the comparison that you are doing with the other people. You find that you are unable to move on. So that is why I'm saying, if there is something that you desired in life, you knew that at this time, I will be having my home. I will have built my house. Other people are building, but you have not built your house. That is not a case or an issue that should stress you up. No, because one thing I always say, and that is one of the things that have kept me going, is that if I'm not able to build a house today, but I'm not staying outside. I'm still able to rent a house. So God will give me at the right time. So I don't need to stress myself up. I don't need to think because others have gone ahead of me, are better than me, because there is a plan and a purpose over everything that we have. So when these cares come, that is why the Bible says that we need to cast our cares to the Lord. Why? Because He cares. So even the things that you think that they are late, they will come at the right time. Sarah in the Bible, she conceived at the age of 75. But the Bible, when it's talk about Sarah, she became the mother of nations, not one person. And the people who were delivered before her, you can see. So that is why when I'm talking about unfulfilled dreams, we need not to struggle so much to stress ourselves because of things that we have not done, because of things that we hoped we could have met by this time, because we always have timeline and we say, I know at the age of 20, at the age of 30, I'll be married. If you are not married by then, you don't need to be stressed. That is a dream that you had, but it has its own time. You need to believe and trust in God, that in God's timing, whatever you have hoped and whatever you have desired, it will come. So, but you don't need to, because when people, and especially our ladies, when they get and they see 30 clocking, 35 clocking, now they even feel they are ugly. They feel nobody is looking at them, and that becomes a cause of those depression in life, because there were some things that you were hoping, but you are not able to to perform it. So that is why I'm saying that is an area that we need to look
The
at.
unfulfilled dreams.
Dreams, exactly.
And to us, that is the point number 5.
That is number 5.
Yes, because we have already covered, in the other episodes, we have covered 4.
Yes.
Yes, now what is another cause that you...
Another cause is relationship breakups. An area that have been very much, and we have seen so many people being stressed and getting into depression is when breakups come in a relationship. Maybe you are engaged or you are courting somebody, and in course of time, you find that that person either, and you had already poured your whole heart to that person, and you really trusted that person, you loved that person, you'd given everything to that person, but you find that person either cheating or either just leaving you, and you find that that person, when he leaves you, now there is a vacuum that comes in. Why? Because you had trusted in that person. All your heart was really given out to that person. So when a breakup comes, it becomes a heartbreak. And when it becomes a heartbreak, that is where people now get into depression, because now you try to figure out what happened, what have I done, why me? And you start to think that, was I not good enough? Did I not do what I'm supposed to do? And so now you start to have some guilt in you, start to have you just to feel inadequacy, and you find that, am I not the right person? Was I not meant to either to be in marriage? So, and that is the position where people get into depression, because people, most of and especially to our young people, it's good to say this because relationship breakups mostly happens to our young people. And I know most of these young people have been affected by this. They have been affected because the person that you are engaged or you courted, maybe you found that person with another person. You found him with another girl. You find that girl either you just hear we have heard of these things, that you have been courting that person, but you come across a card of a wedding. You are invited in a wedding of the person that you thought he was. So those are the areas where this person, before he heals, and if he doesn't understand how to come out of such issues and how he had given himself to that, it becomes so deep to a point where you find these people takes more time even to heal. They become, and you have come across so many people saying that I don't see any need of either, I don't see a need of either courting another person, being married, and they decide just to stay like that. Why? Because they were heartbroken by whatever happened. So when we are talking about relationship breakups, these are areas that have really affected, and even not only in young people, even in marriages. In marriages, because you have stayed with a person, there are people who have stayed in marriage for 10 years, for 20 years. You have invested much in that marriage. You have trusted, you have raised the kids, you have put all the trust, and finally you find maybe one partner becomes unfaithful. So these are the areas where you find that all the trust that you had towards that person, it becomes very hard for this man to heal, and even to forgive, and even to do to come back to the position that he was. So that is why, as we are talking of depression, and I say these things are real, these are things that are happening, and they are happening almost. We are having these cases. We have been having these people coming to us, and they are telling us, I have stayed with this man. I have stayed with him for quite this time, for 20 years. I never imagined that such a thing could happen to our family. But because they have happened, how do you deal with it? Somebody will say, it's like you're talking about the people who are unbelievers. Even in the Christian circle, I know there are things that happens. Maybe it can be pressure from the in-laws. It can be something from the in-laws, and it comes and even spoils, and it comes. And when it comes into the marriage, you find that the trust and the things that were there, either because of some of the pressure from outside, comes and affect the marriages. Sometimes it's communication in that family. You find that communication that had been there, it's no longer there. So you find there are areas and things that can happen and affect the relationship that was there. And that is what I call the breakups.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it is because of the investment that people have put
Yes.
to certain relationships.
Yes.
What is the advice that you can give to people who are getting married?
Yes.
And they think because they are, the person who is getting married to, or he is getting married, is not educated, you educate that person, later that person go and get married to another person. What is the advice that you can give to people who are getting such people? Yes, you love each other, but the moment you educate or you empower that person, he goes with all what you have done to that relationship.
What happened, and especially in
And
marriage?
Mark, you,
Yes.
we are not only talking about those people in church, because
Yes.
our viewer may not be even people who know God.
Yes. Yes.
We are talking about general people.
Yes.
And also remember, these things are also happening in the church.
Yes.
They are also happening in the church. Young
Yes.
people, you get a person, you educate that person.
Yes.
That person, when he goes and get that education, in the sector
Finally.
that he goes, he get another person,
And
maybe of
now-
his caliber. You see,
Yes. Yes.
because
And
I've
normally
three
they
cases,
normally say that you are no longer his type.
you are no, you are no longer his type.
Yes. Yes.
But then, even you yourself, you are not
Yes.
his type. You were lower. But now you have been educated. You have been elevated to a level
Yes.
that now you see your partner who have taken care of you,
Yes.
seeing that you didn't have education, now you have.
Yes.
So, what is the advice that you can give to people, to lovers who may meet? One of them is educated, and another one is not educated. What can you give? And most of those things, they happen to girls, because maybe he love a boy, and he see the people that he is working with will be ashamed to see that your wedding, you have been married by a person who is not who is not educated. Also, so what is that advice that you can give to either man or woman, because it happened to both, to all circles?
Let me say this, even before I say what we should do. It does not just happen to ladies. It even happens to men. Why? You can be a man, and maybe after going back to school, maybe by then there are some things you could not do. But after you have now attained that, there are some people of some levels that you are working with, you also find that the person that you are living with is not of your class. These things do happen. But now when we are talking about investing in a person's life,
in a relationship,
and especially in a relationship, I want you to understand.
And Mark, the relationship that I want you to talk to is a relationship that we are not married.
They are not married.
They are not married.
Okay, I can say it is dangerous in a way, and the reason why I'm saying it is dangerous, one, when we are talking of education, sometimes it takes time. Maybe you want to take somebody to a course. Maybe she wants to be a nurse. Let me just give it. So she will take 3 years in that course. And now you are not married by then. And maybe you did not meet when she was in that course, because they are two different. You also need to look at it in two perspectives. If you found her in that course, then you can wait until she finishes. But if you found her, she was not in the course, but she was interested, and she told you that I feel I'm interested to do this course. Now you invest in that. Okay, one of the challenges that is normally there, the time that you are not together, mostly, and because you are not attached, there is no bond that has brought you together. There is a gap, and that is the gap that normally comes in, because that is when we are talking of a distant relationship. You find that if you are not committed to that person, these things do happen. Personally, I can say, and this is what I can advise to young people. If you want to marry, and that person desires a course, let her come into your house. Let her become a wife. Let her be responsible as a wife. Then you can take her being your wife to that course. But before, you have not married her. You have not married her.
I've asked you because I have 2-3 cases.
They are there, and they are always there.
I know there are many.
And there are many, because there are young people who are crying out there that have invested. I have used a lot just to educate this lady, and after now the completion and after graduating, this is what she has done to me. These things are there. But I want to say to these young men, you need to understand, you had not married that person.
I have a friend that I will not disclose, that I will not disclose in this setup.
Yes.
But that person told me that were it not for some counseling from some men of God, he thought of taking his life. Because looking at how he had invested to that girl, later, after school, immediately after school, he got married by another person.
Yes.
So it was a trauma. It was a trauma to that man.
And that is what we are saying, because we have so many people who are married and they are back to school. And they have continued either to advance in whatever they wanted in school, and they are doing very well. And the family is still intact. But when it comes to, you are not married, but you are investing, you have sacrificed your all your salary, you are paying the fees to another person, and you are not married to her. I'm telling you, me, I have heard a person asking the man, who told you that I needed to be supported? Do you think that even if you so
and the problem with education is not like a commodity that you can take away.
You can't just go to school and request for the fees that you had already paid.
It is not something that you bought, like this phone. If you say something like that, I can take the phones, because that is the education that is in the mind, and you have already empowered that person. So,
and that is what we are saying. You need to think about it, because one of the things that I will be asking myself, why does she not come to my house? I marry her and I take her to school. Why is it that she does not want to be married? She wants to complete this either a course. And when I met you, because I said, if I met you in school, I will wait. But if I did not find you in school, why tell me that you have to go to school and finish? Then I think those are the areas that we need to.
So we need to advise the young men who are not married. That if the girl insists that he wants first to go to school, let the parent do that.
Exactly.
Let the parent do that. You are investing in education does not mean that it will not add up to the love to that person. It does not mean that now the girl will be measuring, if you take me to school, you love me so much. That one cannot be a measure whether you love the person or not.
Any love that is under conditional love is not love.
It is manipulation.
So that is manipulation. So if somebody will tell you that unless you do 1, 2, 3, I cannot get married to you, then there is no love. That is what I know. There is no love, because love, if you read in 1 Corinthians 13, it talks about love. Love is patient. Love does not count. Love, there are so many things that are written when we are talking about love. When
so
a person loves you.
Even when we go outside the Bible, there are things that people call love. And that love, if it goes to a point of
you are being manipulated, unless you do this.
And unless you do this, you don't prove that you love me. If I need to prove that I love you, that is not love.
We call it Delilah's love. That is what Delilah did. She told Samson, I think you don't love me. And she cried. And that is how Samson gave all that the secrets that he had, because he thought that Delilah loved her. So that kind is not.
We can also say that any manipulative love,
is not love.
Is up to something. Now, most is not.
It is, and it will not last. It will not last. So just give it time. Just give it time. When that person gains and gets whatever she wanted, she will move out. And so, before she pulls out, you will be crying. So, young man, You need to be wise. Just before you get into it, think twice, and also that is why we tell our young people,
Calculate the
pray
steps.
and make sure you get the right person, because the right person will always consider you. He will consider the things, the priorities in life. What are the priorities? Why am I getting into this marriage? Because getting into marriage doesn't mean that you'll not you
face trials, face challenges.
So, but if you are manipulated, how long will you be manipulated in marriage? Because we are talking of education today. Tomorrow we'll be talking of another thing.
Sure. You should ask yourself, how long will you be able to be patient with manipulation? Because if they start from the word go, it means that it will continue.
Yes.
It will continue.
That is not love. Because anybody who loves you is able to accommodate you in your capacity. He will accommodate if it's his girl, she will accommodate you and understands you. When it comes to issues, you will sit down, you will discuss, you will tell her. The parents are there. You cannot take the roles of a parent. In as much as you love that person, you cannot take the roles of a parent. Yeah, because if the parents were able to do 1, 2, 3, let it be so.
And I think on that point, the boy child is really
suffering. They are suffering.
They are really affected.
Yes.
They are really suffering.
Yes.
And me, I think because I have a boy, and you have a boy.
I have.
I know the input that you are doing wherever the boy is.
Yes.
So the person who he will get to marry, the parent on the other side, they should also realize. Or even the girl herself should realize that their input that was done to the boy, who is now becoming my man. Yes. That's something that people are forgetting so much. That the boy also, he have struggled to come where he is. The way also the girl have struggled to be where she is.
Talking about empowerment, that is not an urgent thing. Because if we are talking of that person needs to get to either to school, it's not that urgent. Why is it that you want it if it's not today? If it is not this, if it is not this man, then
that is manipulation.
It is manipulation.
And someone told me that manipulation is witchcraft.
Exactly. Because you become a captive of that manipulation. So when you are bound in that, you cannot live and you will not walk out of it. So you'll find yourself, you become a captive, and it becomes like
when you are manipulated.
That is witchcraft. Exactly. I like that.
So today we have talked about we have talked about unfulfilled dreams.
Yes.
And we have also talked about breakups in relationship.
Yes.
It is not only the married people, even those people who are not married.
Yes.
They also have breakups.
Yes. I don't know if I can give one just in a very few minutes.
Okay,
then I get just one.
Another one.
Just one. Okay. Then I'll just go to the courses.
To the person who have joined us now, here is TJ Studio, and we are with Bishop Delango, who is continuing handling the topic of depression. We are now talking about the causes, and if you have followed from start, we talked about unfulfilled dreams.
Yes.
And now we have also talked about the breakups in relationship.
Yes.
And now we are going to the third one in this episode.
Yes.
In the last one, we talked about 4. We had on 4 causes of depression. You can go back to the last episode so that you may go from there and you come to this one so that you may be able to flow with us.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about this one because I think this one also is something that has affected many people.
Before we go to symptoms.
We get to the symptoms, and I'll be talking about the characteristics and the signs that will cause you to understand that this person is under depression. But I feel to talk about some bullying. There are some areas that you find bullying, especially where people are tormented, they are afflicted, and they are forced to do some things, either in school. I know we are parents, we are taking our children to schools, and you find that your child, when he is in school, there are some schools, even though bullying have been in many schools, they don't advocate for it, and they have tried all their best to make sure that there's no bullying. But you find there are some areas your child can be tormented either in school, and you find that child, he was performing very well, but you will realize that with time he does not perform. So it's only because of the torture that he's going through. Not only in school, because when we are talking of depression, it will always affect your mind. It will affect your mind. So when the mind has been affected, you find that there are the effects and the causes will always come. So you find that there are people who are tortured in school. If it is not in school, there are people who are tortured at the place of their works. You find that a person is working somewhere, but wherever you are working, you find either the boss. If you are a lady, you find there are some sexual harassment that comes in, and because many people are dying is in silence. They don't want to speak out. They don't want to say what they are going through. So instead of them speaking out, they continue suffering in them. And that is where you find stress and depression comes in, because they have been tortured. There are some advancement, either if it is a lady and these things are happening, maybe it is your boss, he's overworking you. There are some who will even blackmail you. So you find there are some blackmails in the places of work, and people, because you are in a position, I don't want to lose this work. I don't want the boss and other people to know. I don't want to lose this. So you keep on now being quiet, and when you keep on being quiet, you continue suffering. And so many people have suffered under some such circumstances. Okay, so you find I said maybe there are even others who are overworking. You find that there is a workload that is when you are doing so much than what you are able to handle. In the next episode, I will continue to talk about it, because it's an area that needs to be addressed.
Sure.
And I think it's needed. So just allow me to speak on a few symptoms, and I'll continue in the next episode.
Wow.
Yes,
because of time. Yes, we have talked about bullying. And it's a very, very wide topic.
Yes.
Inside the topic of depression.
Yes.
And I know that next time we will talk about it. But because we promised the viewer that we need to talk a little bit about the symptoms.
Yes.
Let us talk maybe before we conclude.
Thank you. I'll give some of the symptoms, some of the characteristics that you look at as a person, and you realize that that person is under depression.
If I can go a little bit back on what we said.
Yes.
You say that the problem with the depression, to some extent, you can realize that I'm being depressed.
Yes.
But you say that in a larger amount,
yes,
it's the people who are with you
who will understand and exactly
who will notice
you are suffering.
That there are things that you are doing and really you are suffering.
Exactly. So, and that is why I'm here to say, I talked about how you relate with other people, because how you relate with people will make us know that you are suffering. If I'm with you, if there are some changes in you, because the symptoms are the changes that comes after the mind has been affected, after there is some more pressure in your mind. So when you are unable to handle it, that is when these symptoms and characteristics, that is how people now start to see there are some changes in you. And so some of the things that I'll just talk about a few, and then I will continue to enroll and even to bring more so that people can understand. One of them is isolation. Isolation. You find that a person isolates himself from other people. He does not want to stay where other people are, because when you sit with them, he does not want to hear that noise. When you talk, it's like you're making a lot of noise. When he sits where there is either radio or anything that is there, people are talking their own stories, that person will just feel that he needs to be alone. Wants to be alone. You are all as a family in the house, but you find that person wants to be in the bedroom. He wants just to be there. You go to that person, you will not understand why are you alone. So
Isolation.
once you find isolation is one of the symptoms that will cause you to understand that a person is suffering. Somebody is under heavy
Somebody who was actively
very active.
involved with discussions maybe of the family.
Yes.
He is no longer interested with them.
Yes.
Most of the time he is alone in bedroom.
Yes. So that person loses interest
with people.
Everything that happened, not even with people, interest with everything, because whatever is happening is a bother to them. So, and because of that, they feel they need to be alone. And when they are alone, they feel they are more comfortable than when people are now disturbing them. And that is how you hear people say, I don't want to be disturbed, I don't want to be bothered, I don't want this and this. They just want to be alone. In an isolated place. So if you have a person, either it's a child, you have a partner, and you find this person, every time you could interact, every time you could sit down and at least you could talk and converse, but now you find this person just wants to be alone. He wants to be alone. And if in the family maybe you are so much bothering that person, that is how you find people are even coming at home very late. They want to find everybody asleep. They want to find when everything has been done, because they don't want to hear you bother them in whatever you are doing, all the activities. So they lose interest in everything that happens.
Isolation.
So they isolate themselves. That is one of the signs.
One of the signs is isolation.
Isolation. So when you find whoever that person will be, and that is why I said relation, how you relate is very important, because you will start to understand this person is so much quiet. This person is so much alone. This person doesn't need and they are doing nothing. Even if you follow them, you find because they lose interest. Be it a phone, maybe they were so much with the phones, and especially with the generation, you find that when they get to their phones, they cannot be there the whole day. But you find even the phone itself, it's becoming, they are not bothered. They just want to be there. That is one of the signs. When you see it, you need to and start to think on how you can talk to that person, how you can help that person, because unless that person is helped, then they continue getting deeper and deeper, and that is how they come to a point of despair. So I was talked about isolation. That is one.
We get that one.
Yes, I'll talk about another thing.
Yes.
Another area is when people lose appetite. People lose appetite. That okay, we are used that there is a meal when it is served, you will always enjoy and you love it. But when depression strikes, you find that the appetite will not be there. You will always...
And you are not sick.
You are not sick.
You
are not fasting. Not that you are fasting.
Not that you are fasting.
Yes.
Not that you are sick.
Yes.
You know, sickness can also bring loss of appetite.
But this is not now a disease.
But this one is okay.
So you just lose appetite. So every time you see food
Because
before you,
things that are in your mind.
now your mind is so much filled and you are so much stressed. So you don't find the taste of food, you don't find that appetite in you, and nothing will be good for you. So it doesn't matter what kind of food will be served. But because of how much you have been pressured and how much you have been... so appetite is another... Yes. And it has affected many people. So if you have a child and you find this child is coming, just want to go to sleep, and you need as a parent to understand why are you not taking your food? Are you sick?
Even the meal that other people like.
Yes, because it's very obvious. Maybe they are coming from school and you find they just come and go to bed. They want to be alone. They don't want to eat. They don't want to be bothered. That is
Not
an
one,
alarm.
something that is recalling.
Yes. So you need to understand that is an alarm, and you need to take it more seriously. Know why? Because that person may be suffering and you are not aware. This person may be under torture in his mind. And because of that, if you don't help that person out of it, then it will continue even to pile up. And we said, the more it continues to pile up, the more it brings more effect in your life, and it brings out so many things. I think we'll be talking about the effect, but now we are talking about these are the symptoms. When you see them, you realize that there is something that is happening. I think I can give the third one. Then I think we'll be through.
Sure.
Yeah,
The last one.
I'll give the last one, and the last one is a losing of weight.
Loss of weight.
Yes. I know so many people think that when you are sick, that is the only time that you lose weight. But a person under depression will always lose weight
because he does not have appetite.
He's not eating, and because of how the system of the body and the mind, this person now becomes his body. He start just losing the weight. And you will start just significantly too. You just find after a very short time, you find that this person, the health is always deteriorating. Why? Because there is something that has affected the mind. It affects the heart. It affects the system, and now anything that it takes, even in the system, it becomes now it cannot be. So I think when you look at a person and you find that this person's health is not very good, you need to understand why, because not every time people lose weight when they are sick. There are sometimes it is the effect that is in the mind, and because they have been affected, now it affects even their health. Thank you so much.
Wow. I know that we have now started the journey of looking what are the symptoms.
Yes.
And I know it's a big journey.
Yes.
That will work with our viewer.
Yes.
To understand what is happening to their kin or to their loved one.
Yes. Yes.
And we know that it's a long journey.
It is. It is.
But we have already started.
Yes.
And I know in the next episode we'll look more.
Yes.
On the same. I want to give you the chance to just tell our viewer. I know you are bishop. You can now give us the physical location of your church.
Thank you.
Because of time.
Yes.
And also, if you have a parting shot.
Thank you so much. To our viewers, thank you so much for your time and listening to us, even as we are discussing on this important part of life. One thing that I want to say, the Bible is very clear that there is hope. And as you trust in God, there is hope. Don't die in depression. Don't continue suffering in depression. Why? The Bible is very clear that cast all your cares to Him, because He Himself cares. He said that let us take all our burdens, give it to Him. He is faithful, and He will give us rest. If you give Him all the burdens that you have, you don't need to walk overburdened. You don't need to walk overstressed in life and under depression when Christ is there to take your burden. So you can believe in Him. His word is there. It will comfort you. It will give you hope, and you will be able to live a life that is strong. So my name, as I said, I'm Bishop John Derango, and the church where we are in just past top 10. Those people who knows Langa Langa, past top 10, on your way to Pondamali, just next to Elite School or Elite Academy. that is where we are located. We welcome you there. We have our services there. On Sundays we are there, and even in the middle of the week. And my number, if you want to reach out to me, my phone number is 0721 512882. 0721 512882. Thank you so much. God bless you as you continue to follow us, as we continue to unwrap this topic, because you need to understand you'll never be depressed because Christ came to take your burden. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Bishop. You are a gift to this generation that we are in.
Thank you.
And the topic that you are handling is very, very important to us.
Yes.
And because it covers the whole family, and it also goes to where we work. And we thank God because of how the Lord is helping you to unwrap the whole topic. Thank you, viewer, because of continuing joining us. I encourage you to go back to the other episode so that you walk with us until this episode that we are in, so that you continue understanding the topic of depression. It may hit a person that is very close to you, and maybe these teachings are the one that will help you, so that you help that person who will be depressed. God bless you and do you good. Once again, we are TJ Studios. We are here at Kano Street, Nakuru. That's why we record music, both audio and video, and we also do coverage. The person who was behind the camera is Martin, and he has been of good help to us, making sure that the transmission has been done correctly. God bless you and do you good. Until next time, my name is Pastor Mashalia Mugo. Thank you because of following us. Until next time, be blessed.
Bye. God bless.
Thank you.